Hello, everyone. Thanks after this long night that you spent. We continue with Thomas Ruyant. You were the fourth to cross the finish line. It must be long for you. It's the fifth now, huh? So you said earlier on that all the emotions are coming in at the same time. Are you able to put some words on what you felt? For the moment, I don't have much hindsight on all this. Everything went very quickly. 2 hours ago, I was still on my boat. So yeah, there is still many things. A lot of people have asked me how I was feeling and what was going through my mind. And clearly, of course, there are a lot of feelings mixing up. And it's normal. It's around the world that was long, that was hard. It's around the world that is the achievement of 3 years of hard work, even more. Now it's been 15 years since I started solo racing and offshore racing. 4 years ago, I stopped in New Zealand with a broken boat. 3 years ago, I didn't have a boat nor a team. I didn't have a partner either. And to arrive here in Les Sables, it's it's a lot of pride because it compensates these last 3 years during which we built a great project with a wonderful team and a great partner with whom we met clearly on the dimension that we wanted to give to this project, to the sports project, and not just a sports project. We have a boat that's called LinkedOut, and I think it's innovative in the sailing world and also in the sports world in general. So all this, I'm full of pride for all this and having finished this around the world. It's a lot of happiness, a lot of satisfaction of myself and for the partners, for LinkedOut and all the technical team. I'm the one who marks the goals, but there is a lot of action before, a lot of playing actions to reach this point. And it's wonderful to be here in front of you, to have finished this round the world, and to have reached a lot of objectives. The first one was to finish this race. It's done. It was also to navigate among the leaders, and that's also what I did in this round the world, also to have no regrets, and I don't have any, because I put all the energy I had in it to keep my position. It was not easy. I had a lot of technical issues. It was there were a lot of obstacles in this round the world, but I think that's what the Vendée Globe is about. So yes, I'm really proud to be here and to have joined, to reach Les Sables. You spent 72% of this Vendée Globe in the top 3. Is that a source of pride also? Yes, that's what we wanted to do when I left. That's how we raised this project. When 3 years ago I decided to start a new Vendée Globe after my stop in New Zealand, my retirement in 2017, I wanted to build a project that was up to level in a sports mean way, and so we built a good project, building the boat at the beginning without a partner, so it was a real challenge to launch this project without having a guarantee or certainty. We knew what we wanted to do, and Alexandre, who is there, was close to me during this whole time and brought me all this entrepreneurship aspect to be able to build a project like this. So we built this boat, and then we found partners, and then we were able to write a story with Terracine and LinkedOut that we have in the sales, and today we're about 40 people have been able to go back to work. So I think everything was ticked, even though there is satisfaction and happiness, but also there's a little bit of frustration because I'm a competitor. And it was hard many times during the race because I knew the boat that I had in my hands. And at the end of the descent of the Atlantic, I found myself with a boat with one missing a leg. So I had to fight an arrangement to navigate the boat without a foil and to search for trajectories that were good for me. The weather helped me a lot because it came from the back mostly. Do the journalists have questions? We have mics for you. Thank you, Thomas. We knew that your boat was handicapped, but at the finish, we realized that it doesn't have a bowsprit either. So can you tell us about it? Yes, it summarizes my round the world. I have the feeling that every day I had technically something to do on the boat, and this last tack was really the final bouquet, because at 40 miles from the finish, it happened. It's a good thing it happened at that time. I was able to pull on it straight on. I kept the sail on, and I was able to fix the bowsprit to the boat so that it didn't damage other parts of the hull, and to keep the head sail that I had at the time. So it's a good thing it happened only a few hours before the finish. But yes, it was another issue. I don't have the explanation, and we will analyze this. For the moment, I don't know the cause. Hello, Thomas. Katia for Vendée in Quebec. Congratulations, first of all. I was wondering how you experience coming back up the channel of Les Sables today, with everything that has happened over the last 3 months in your own adventure. I saw my relatives once again in the channel, and my friends, so on the pontoon also, and the partners, the organizing authority. I felt that there was a big will to welcome us, as it was expected after Around the World. It was a really strong return. And considering we're not in easy conditions to experience this, of course, it's not a normal finish and a normal passage of the channel. It was not a normal start either. So for that reason, I will have to come back. I had a wonderful start 4 years ago, where I felt the popular fervor of Vendée Globe, and it's part of the race. This time it's a little bit different. What we have to remember is that we were lucky to be able to take the start, that the event took place, and to have a nice finish despite all this. For us, I think it gave us a good breath of fresh air, and I think we gave it back also. So that I think that's the main element. Of course, we can't complain. Of course, we would have loved to have a huge arrival in the channel as we had experienced before, but it was not the case, and I hope it will be the case in the future editions. Thomas, while you were in the race, there were a lot of controversies with the foilers, because their performances were less than was expected. What is your opinion on this? Do you project yourself also for the next edition on an ideal boat? Yes, of course. We are pointing out a new aspect of our boats and our foilers. Are they completely adapted to this type of race? I think they need to evolve again. And we had weather conditions that were very particular this year. I think if with Charlie at the end of the Atlantic Ocean and beginning of the Indian Ocean, we have we've had the big depression to start. The discussion would not have been the same. In the south, with the conditions we had, it's a regret I have on this round the world. This year, we never found the long swells that we were expecting from the big south, and we had short seas. And low, high pressure that barred or blocked our way going in the Pacific, and it always came from the back, so it was not ideal to go. In the Atlantic, we saw the speed of the boats going up the Atlantic, and I'm sure it's what the future holds. I don't think we have to have this debate now. I think there is still work to be done so that they are well adapted. These boats make a difference, and at the finish, it's the foilers and not the dagger boards. In the south, maybe it's not what makes the difference, but they remain exceptional boats. So I'm convinced that it is the future. We need to progress. We have to make them evolve. I have a lot of ideas for this, and already to evolve on this boat. Of course, the weather of this edition was not favorable for the boats with big foils. So we see that you had a lot of difficulties, but at the same time, we didn't feel from land that you were tempted at some point to retire. When you saw that your foil was damaged, at some point did you think about retiring? Yes, it crossed my mind. At the moment it happens and you see the foil broken, very quickly, when you have a damage like this, you ask yourself if you should retire or not. But quickly after, you understand that there are things to be done so that the damage doesn't get worse, and so that you don't have any additional damages and be able to continue this around the world. And for me, the first objective was to finish. So even if the performance, the boat was a little bit under level, it was still capable of navigating and reaching the Sables d'Olonne. So it was not possible for me to stop. Then I had a lot of other damage on the sails, on the hooks, on the electronics, the engine, the hydraulic. But I think everyone had some issues, and it's just part of the Vendée Globe. Every day there's a problem per day on around the world with such technical boats. I think it's something we have to do with these new boats also. It's that we realize that these boats are very violent, and you have to be you have to check some standard equipment that should be more robust. The boats are too violent for some equipment, so I think we'll have to work to have less problems and less damage. When you talk about making the boat evolve, does it mean for your next boat, for your boat for the next Vendée? Maybe we have just arrived, huh? So what's sure is that with Advance, we have a strong will to continue. I know they are very motivated to continue in 2021 and 2022. So that's a great satisfaction to arrive from around the world and to already know what's happening and to have this serenity for a sports person. It's really important. And I know today that I will be there on the 2021 and 2022 season with my my great boat that we're going to repair and that we're going to try to improve. Yes, these are prototypes, huh? So we learned a lot from this around the world, myself and the team. And so we're going to continue the work to be present and in a very performing way in 2021, because there are great races in the years to come, and for the rest we will see later. But what's sure is that I haven't arrived here for a long time. But my story with the Vendée Globe is not finished. Thomas, a big part of your race was done with a diminished boat with a foil cut. After this damage, did you find some settings that enabled you to improve your navigation on this damaged foil? Did you find solutions that enabled you to progress? Yes, I had to learn once again how to navigate without a foil. Alors, it's true that this whole boat was designed. It was designed for this foil, this edition. It was designed around the foils. So the sail plan was made around this notion. So when the principal element of the boat, the foil, is not there anymore, the sail plan is not adapted anymore. What we know, the target speeds and the numbers, because we navigate with numbers, everything is obsolete. And you have to learn how to work with the boat once again to navigate and to have very different trajectories. So in some conditions, I had to have more sails up. That's what I had to do going up the North Atlantic, and I had to put a lot of sail on the boat, which maybe explains the problem, the technical issue at the end. I think I had to put in even more energy because the boat was not made to sail without a foil. And to keep the pace, because it was not there was no way I was going to let go and leave my friends in front of me. So I had to find the resources in the boat and also the mental resources so as not to give up and to continue navigating correctly, and it was not easy. Finally, it's a Vendée Globe that was difficult mentally also, because I'm a competitor. And knowing that there is this shortfall in speed, and knowing that there's a lot of starboard port, I feel like I've been doing only starboard tacks since I broke the foil. So it was difficult. So I'm really proud to reach Les Sables and to have continued navigating with the front runners despite this big technical issue in terms of performance. There were other problems but those were managed. Can you detail a little bit this aspect that you have less power without this foil, but you need more sail area? So it depends on the conditions. A boat that goes fast creates its own wind, and you need less sail area in this case, and less volume. And it's the concept of the sail plan that we had on LinkedOut. So as soon as we launched and designed it on this boat, we had a sail plan that was close to a multi-hull sail plan. So the power that you bring on a boat doesn't mean that you can take more sail area. You increase your speed and you increase your apparent wind, so you can make you can use smaller sails. So without a foil, you need to add up some sail area, and you have to change sails more often, and you have to spend more energy to make the boat continue. So of course we can't never reach the same speed, because with these big foils, in some conditions, there were 3, 4, 5 knots of difference without this foil. I don't know if I answered your question, but one last question. What is your program for the next hours? To eat well, to sleep well, have a good shower, and meet up with my friends. Some of them came from far away, and to enjoy, take advantage of the people who came to the finish, because often we don't really enjoy this. We see them at the start, they take advantage of it at the start without us, but now maybe we can celebrate after the finish. I want to recover my life on land, and I know it's complicated at this period, but maybe to experience some simple things. I took a good breakfast, a croissant, pear juice, kind of things that make me feel good. And I had a difficult week in terms of food on board. I didn't have much left because the round the world was long, and because at the beginning of the race I didn't expect it would be so long. So at the beginning of the race I already started to get the food that I enjoyed that was at the bottom. So then I regretted it a little bit, but that's the lessons that you learn. Everything was well timed, but so all these little simple things that we're happy to find once again when we come back from such a crazy adventure as the Vendée Globe or as around the world. And we want to find these small things once again. So today I'm really proud to have finished this around the world and to have rounded the 4 capes, the Cape Horn, because Cape Loon and the Cape of Good Hope I had already achieved 4 years ago, and I'm very proud of myself and of all my team. And I'm also very proud of having built a project like this, a sports project with people like Alexandre. All the members of my team are not present. I think they're on the boat, but also having shown a project that is a little bit different from what we know in the world of sport. This boat, which is called LinkedOut, I hope it will include more people. It's about integration, but there are many other causes. And I am convinced that the business world and the organization world and the sports world can combine their efforts. I think we are a sport that is well publicized, and we should use it. And that's what we did with this project. And it's a success in terms of sport, but also in other aspects. And that's what drives me. It's not just to steer a boat. and be the pilot of a great machine. It's also to create these projects, these synergies. And this project, LinkedOut, is one of them, but there are other ones that moved me a lot during this year, with an artist called Molecule who equipped the boat with cameras and mics, something that had never been done before. It was a big technical challenge. We also had technical issues on that, but we come back with a sound that had never been taken offshore, and footage that had never been taken either. So I hope there will be a nice documentary or film with this, and that will help also what we experience, to show what we experience on the boat, and show you the difficulty of a Vendée Globe, because I'm not really sure that although image is more and more present and video is always there in the sports world, and you have to know how to edit and produce videos, it's good to have another glance on board. And so it's interesting. It's what we tried to do with this project. It was a project with a lot of different sides to it. It's really rich, and I'm looking forward to continuing and preparing the future. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for the message, for the emotion, and on your course you can Thomas, the interview will be transcribed on the website. Maxime Sorel arrives in a few days. It's your former boat, the boat Le Sables du Nord. Will you be here to welcome him? The boat that was broken but that you brought back? Yes, I would like to be here. There's also Damien arriving, and Jean, and Benjamin, and Maxime, and Armel. I will try to be at the finishes, but what is really nice is that this boat, on which I had a problem in 2016, is steered by Maxime, and I'm happy that he can finish it and finish the Vendée with it, because it's a wonderful boat also, on which I had a lot of pleasure. So it's great that Max can finish his round the world, and yes, I will be here for the finish. When is he arriving? For over the last days, we were quite focused on our little regatta, so I kind of followed less. I think they will have a difficult return also. The race is not finished, but I hope the end will be good. One last question. Congratulations. No.
Was a child.